This program is made to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to, right?
That is exactly what we're about. You have to remember that. Look, whether we get 1 million views or we get 1, it is still Be More. Believe me, for real. I refuse to have a generation behind me not doing better than me.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Right.
I can't sleep at night knowing the next generation is going to do worse than I. That doesn't make sense.
Be more for real.
DMV and Be More.
Put the number 4 up. Show them the number 4.
Here, it's like, okay, we separate. But when you move outside of Maryland, we all the same.
We all the same.
Canada
But you gotta play your role.
Canada is Be More for real. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Welcome to BMore4Real podcast. Get ready for the realest conversations anywhere on the net.
Keep it locked with us.
Elvis.
Whoa. It's Be More for real. It is Be More for real in the building. Live and living color. Brought to you by way of Real Explosion, by the way. This is the realest conversation on the internet. If this is your first time viewing, I would like for you to hit that like button. I would like for you to hit that subscribe button. This is the realest conversation anywhere on the net. Rated R for reality. What more do I need to tell you? Be More for real. Man, we got an action-packed show for you today, man. We got the comedy legend, the Godfather himself. You guys gonna see it, man. Y'all gonna know what's up. We already got comments already in the building. Big brother sent an icon. He said, "Hey, happy Wednesday. What's up, family?" Yes, sir. What it do, fam? Let me know if you can hear me. Put the 1 in the chat. Put the 2s in the chat if you can't hear me and things like that. You know, make sure y'all know my levels and all that stuff, right? Because y'all know I'm still working on this new equipment and stuff like that. So we still working on it. So let me know if y'all can hear that. We're gonna slide right over into this Be More for real moment. Y'all know what's up, man. We always do it big, man. We always doing helping the community. We always doing a lot for the community, and not only for the community, within the community, man. And it's a pleasure just to work with everybody that we're working with. I had the pleasure of meeting with KB. She's on WOLB 1010, and I'm going to be joining with them tomorrow and seeing them continue on with their podcast and stuff like that. We're doing work in the community, man. We're going to shout out progress. It's great to have progress. It's great. It really is great to be in the position that I'm in. Like, what a time to be alive in 2025. We got some announcements to run down and all that stuff, but before I run down these announcements, we're going to go ahead and run this Monday night clip, man. If y'all ain't seen Monday night show, man, check out Monday night show. We just going to go ahead and run that clip. Big brother Eric, a center icon. Y'all know what's up. We going up.
I'm gonna kill these mofos for real. Give me a chance. It was more of a comment, right? They don't date because of passport.
But anyway, I gave y'all props. That's it. I'm done with y'all. That's it.
Oh, keep it coming. It's not the end. It's not the end. V's a legend. Like.
That's super.
So, I mean, sometimes stuff like that does cause a distraction. So, had him off his game. Like, he knew something was coming out. Like, when he was kicking that ball, something else was going through his head. 16 therapists, accusations, from 2012 to 2016.
God.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because like, the timing of it, but just for 16, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, obviously.
I was like, who does that? Who does that? Who does that?
So, right, like people think you just go in there and boom, one cut, and it takes time and effort. And,
absolutely. You got to really invest into it. And
right.
You got to really
Tune in to Be More Sports Talk Live every Monday at 7 p.m. exclusively on the Be More Pod Network.
I'm gonna kill these mofos for real. Give me a chance.
Yeah. Y'all already know, man. The Be More Sports Talk is lit, man. That's not the only thing that they do with the sports, man. They getting connected with the high school and college. It's getting wild what they doing, man. They are really setting precedents and setting waves for the community. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. We finally got the sports video. I'm going to go ahead and play that clip. Let's run that clip.
No, that was the defense.
No, since y'all had...
Yeah, it really was. I respect Joe, but let's keep his game.
He was throwing dots that game.
We had a triple crown defense last year. MVP quarterback, and we lost. And I cannot get that out of my head.
Them fouls giving y'all a problem.
They was talking about he was Lamar Jackson.
You said, that was crazy.
Disrespectful.
That is... Look, she said that's Merville though. You can't say that they always put up a fight with y'all. You can't say they don't.
But when the last time Merville won against Dunbar?
That's not the point. It's
No,
just they put up a fight.
That is the point. When the last time Merville won against Dunbar?
Good game.
Y'all beat us. We beat y'all this year. Y'all didn't make it to the championship.
Beat us this year. The rest beat us. Taylor Swift beat us.
Taylor Swift. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You see how, I ain't gonna say nothing because it's kids watching, but let's just say her and Travis Kelce definitely. You know what I'm saying?
And Ravens fans don't like to admit it. When Kyle Hamilton plays Travis, he plays so bad for some reason. He do. Kyle Hamilton does not play good against Travis Kelce.
That's the Monday show as well. Y'all can catch the high school highlights and the college sports talk and all that good stuff, man. Shout out to Be More Pod. Shout out to brother Eric. Shout out to the kids, man, and the community. As y'all can see, we working in the community. And speaking about the community, we're going to run down a couple flyers. Speaking about the community, let's go head over to this Young Successful Leaders. All right, so Young Successful Leaders, y'all see it up on the screen. Up Emerson Avenue Community Cleanup. This the Community Cleanup by YSLI. Y'all know what's up. It's Saturday, June the 21st, 2025, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Look at it. Look at it. You see it on your screen. Meet up on North Hilton and all that good stuff. Make sure y'all go ahead and support the community, man. These are other young men and young women in our Baltimore community that we're going to show love for. We're going to show love for them. Y'all know we do it big, man. So this is a community cleanup, Emerson Avenue. Y'all see the meetup spots. Okay. Also, we got Top Shotter Boxing in the building. This is brought to you by way of Jafari and 95 Kai. They presenting to you. They putting the mics down. They putting the gloves up. Y'all know what's up. It's Jay Royale versus Snook the Crook. It's on June the 28th. Mark the date. A $20 entry, 9 p.m. to 2 p.m. Man, go ahead and check this out. Y'all know what's up, man. We going up for the summertime. Baltimore is turning up for the summertime. Top Shotter Boxing in the building. Y'all already know, show enough. All right. Let's get to this next one real quick. We got Toss's Tasty Treats. Y'all already know, donate now, man. They do a lot of food giveaways. It's not just like dry canned goods or none of that stuff either. They actually give away good quality foods and meats and stuff like that, and they invite the community to come out. You got to catch them on the Sundays where they do it. Also, if you would like to donate, if you're not in need and you are in position to donate to people that do stuff for our community, go ahead and scan that QR code on the screen right now to make your donations, or you can call that number 443-468-9975. We're going to go ahead and clap that up. Yeah. It's BMore4Real. Tomorrow night, all right. So this gonna be the last of the announcements for right now. Tomorrow night, y'all know. BMore Pod is going live. You can catch them every single Thursday. We just gonna go ahead and run that clip. Shout out to my guys. Let's go run that clip.
College girl sexy. I'll take something. Look, I don't know if that's a compliment or insult.
His studio etiquette is amazing. Like even at 5, he already knew like, yeah, I want this like that. Move that right there. That's a gift. That's a gift. That can't be.
Got a video for Gwen Hilton. Y'all go ahead and run that video while I pop these bottles. Pop the bottle, baby.
But you get up on the table.
I want you to get up on that table. That's
and
what
you
saying.
and you stop.
First of all, it was the facial expressions I was making. I was looking at everybody else. Not too many people could sing like that.
Entertainment report. Hey, entertainment report.
They ready. They ready.
We do this so we can show other people's talent, and the talent that's inside them is what they love is inside of you, man. They give they point out their passion, they love outside of themselves, man. And 9 times out of 10, if a person is going for trying to reach a goal, there's something inside of them, they got to have help.
That's my friend. Like, we here. We at. Same with me. Like, we here. We at. We at. We at.
BMore Pod, your liveliest destination. Come and join Dennis, Lene, and Joey every Thursday at 7 p.m. Your talent will make room for you.
All right. Yeah, we here. Let me get that off the screen, man. Let me get that off of the screen for y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me get that off of the screen. Y'all see that? Let me get that off of the screen. All right. So, as you can see sitting before me right here, right now, we got the godfather of comedy right here. For over 4 decades, Rickey Shackelford has been unleashing laughter worldwide. Born in Baltimore and dubbed as the godfather of comedy, Mr. Rickey Shackelford is all about unforgettable improv and audience participation. He's brought his adaptable, hilarious act to troops on USO tours. He's entertained thousands nightly in Las Vegas and Ocean City. He's mentored countless new comedians. He's a seasoned comedian. Mr. Rickey Shackelford loves to see people laugh, and he's done it alongside icons like Patti LaBelle, the OJs, Kid and Play, Monique, and many more. Not only has Mr. Rickey Shackelford brought smiles to thousands of faces all over the world, but he's proudly served this country in the armed forces of the United States from 1981 to 1984. The fun doesn't stop there. Mr. Rickey, the real deal Shackelford, he also produces the new thrilling stage play, a tribute to Sanford and Son, written by his comedy partner, and Baltimore comedy legend Howard G. himself. And this nostalgic hit, Rickey Shackelford perfectly portrays the iconic character of Fred G. Sanford, bringing even more joy to the audiences. We're gonna go ahead and clap that up. Yeah. We got the comedy legend live in living color on set. Hey, Brother Bobby, he said, hey, fam, Brother Bobby B is here.
Bobby B.
How you feeling, sir?
Hey, look, man, I'm just thankful that you guys invited me. You know, people don't know, and nothing's given. Everything you have in this world, you have to earn it.
Yes, sir.
And just to earn the rights to come here, I'm thankful for that you guys invited me, because, like I tell you, I'm never late for nothing.
Yes, sir. You was here on time. You almost beat me here.
No, I beat you here.
You did beat me here. I walked past you. You right.
With the chicken in
You right. You right.
Yeah, see,
You right.
I watch everything.
Right.
That's what my improv does.
Absolutely.
I don't miss nothing.
Ah, man.
Bottom line. But, no, I'm glad to be here. And you in my hometown, South Baltimore.
Yeah.
See?
We in South Baltimore.
Small world.
We sure are. Small world. Man, we appreciate you for just joining the set, man, and blessing the set. You are a comedy legend. Yes. You are a legend. You are a beacon of light to our community, and we welcome you to the podcast. What we're going to do right now, we got a tribute. We got a tribute for you as well, too. Wow. that we're gonna share with the audiences as well. They should be able to hear this, but let's go ahead and run this clip real quick, so y'all can get a real feel for Rickey, the real deal Shackelford. Run that clip.
Who helped us get to those bigger stages.
Don't forget.
And this was a brother that when I said, I really want to do this, and he told me, he said, don't waste my time.
That's right.
And he taught me how to be funny without saying anything.
Over 4 decades, Rickey Shackelford has unleashed laughter worldwide. Born in Baltimore, the godfather of comedy is all about unforgettable improv and audience participation. He has brought his hilarious act to our troops, entertained thousands in Las Vegas, and mentored countless comedians.
This morning, I was riding on the bike, trying to stay in shape. 5 o'clock, 5:30 today. I'll be going to a wedding. Is the brother clean or is the brother clean? I do believe in Jesus, okay? Do you believe in Jesus? Well, then remember when Christmas comes, it's Jesus' birthday, not your goddamn birthday.
Don't forget something was cussing up on, but you know I gotta get paid. That's right. I'm going to get Christmas. I'm a Baptist too. All my Baptists in the house go, yeah. All right. All the Methodists go, yeah. Well, they thin it out, ain't they? All my Catholics in the house go, oh yeah. Now, what are you white folks in here? What are y'all? Club on a pinto here. Dropped in the Southeast DC, woke up the next day, somebody stole the club. Didn't even touch the car, just took the club. Tell you, offerings done changed so much though. People put anything in offerings, because now they got them in that envelope. That's right, you can put anything in there, like a cable bill, gas and electric, you know, something you really don't need. And maybe God can turn it back on for you.
The fun doesn't stop there. Rickey also produces the thrilling stage play, A Tribute to Sanford and Son, written by Howard G. In this nostalgic hit, Rickey portrays iconic Fred Sanford, bringing even more joy to audiences.
I ain't got time for your foolishness. Where's Lamont? Is he here? You, Lamont. That's right.
I don't know what throw saw in you. You just steal a dog.
What trouble? Wait.
You must have been high as hell to lose the whole country.
Rickey loves to see people laugh, and he's done it alongside icons like Monique and many more.
Me and Monique here at the Comedy Fact. This comedian, the godfather of comedy, Rickey Shackelford, hanging out with the queen.
Rickey, put it up.
What? 15 years
Ain't
in
nobody
church.
fucking with you.
I'm doing churches now.
Listen,
I'm doing
okay,
churches. God
let me
got a
tell you
plan.
something. This
Talk
nigga
to
was
me, baby.
peddling jokes, now he peddling Jesus.
I'm peddling Jesus. I'm gonna do it right.
Just when I tell you, if you're open to listening,
you gotta listen.
He can give it to you, baby, because he gave it to me. He gave it to this little fat black girl from Baltimore, Maryland, that nobody thought was going to do it. And that brother would come and get me from downstairs in the Gatsby's Comedy Club and say, it's your turn.
That's right.
So when I tell y'all, good brother, but I'll say this. Talk to me. Step and fetch it before we say don't be step and fetch it. Was the highest paid actor in Hollywood at one time.
You got all the history.
You know, so
that's the class I skipped.
We'll say step and fetch it, but
That's
if
right.
we really knew what
That's
that
right.
brother gave to an industry that he's really undervalued in.
That's right.
When I speak about step and fetch it, I say it with honor.
That's right.
And I saw an interview one time with Ozzie Davis.
That's right.
And he was speaking about step and fetch it.
Most definitely.
And he said what people didn't realize was whenever a step and fetch it movie came out, the murders went down for black men.
Wow.
Because when he was in the movies, unfortunately, the white men at that time couldn't extend their belief that black men were intelligent. So when a movie was out, the murders went down. Wow. So before we knock him down,
that's right.
know he was picking us up. Now, Rickey Shackelford, I love
I know you got
I got
to
another show.
I know you do, girl. Make this money, because I need a quarter.
You got to roll. Okay.
Listen, sugar. I made it to this show. That's all I need. That was tough.
Okay.
That was tough.
Okay, y'all got a real live look into just a short snippet of the at least 4 decades in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, we gonna clap it up again, man. We got to.
A lot of years.
We got to lift you up right now, man. A real man in this community. So let's go ahead and get it started, right? Let's go ahead into the origins. So you from Baltimore, right?
Homegrown Baltimore. I grew up in Fairfield Homes.
Okay.
That's like near Brooklyn, Curtis Bay.
Okay. South Baltimore.
South Baltimore.
Yep.
What's up?
South Baltimore finest. Okay. And how much did South Baltimore how much did Baltimore, growing up in Baltimore, shape your career and the person that you became today?
Well, it's kind of strange though, Danny. My career got shaped because a lot of my material was written from where I came from.
Okay.
Fairfield Homes. I was the newspaper boy there.
Okay.
So, if that didn't teach you how to sell and come into the promotional end, newspaper boys going house to house, meeting people, seeing who had roaches, seeing who didn't have roaches, seeing who was going to pay you, who's going to make you come back later. So, but that created, that urban thing that I needed because that's the title was Never Forget Where You Come From.
Right.
See, and I never forget, we grew up on welfare just like everybody else.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, and growing up poor, but my mother, you would never knew it because she took care of home, her and my stepfather. They did their thing. They left a rock. They left a rock.
Yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to them for sure. You were in the military, right?
Yes.
Say military, 1980, 1981, 1984. How much did that shape your personality as a person?
Wow, you asking all the right questions. You did your homework, G.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
We do our homework here. Be more for real.
Be more for real.
Be more for real.
Being for real with the real deal. So, the military, because I came up out of the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
So, I could have been quite easily militant.
Okay.
I mean, I could have been walking around with an attitude, talking about we shall overcome and all that. But what the military did, it gave me a different perspective of people, of human beings. People are people. You just got to learn to talk to them.
Okay.
See, that's what I learned from the military.
Okay.
And Baltimore, come on, you got to have Baltimore swag to go anywhere. But I was always likable, so that was easy for me. I was a class clown in school.
Absolutely.
I was a clown. Teacher said, look, if you're going to be a clown, you might well get paid for it. What a message in the 5th grade. You know what I mean? And that was my way to comedy for all these years, remembering what that teacher said. If you're going to be a clown, get paid for it.
So wow. And that stuck with you since then?
I've carried with me everywhere I go.
Do you remember what year it was?
Yeah, that you really good. Lord Jesus, boy, I ain't know this was going to be a quiz.
A little something.
I wasn't that good at doing homework.
Okay, a little something.
But I got to do a lot of homework
Look,
now.
Be more for real. Like, just in case anybody never knew and they come across you and they find out who you are from this channel, we want to give them the real deal. Like, Rickey, the real deal.
You did your homework.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was crying over here on that display you just had.
Oh, yeah?
Shout
out our producer, Bobby. Bobby B, man. Shout out Bobby B one time.
But check this out. You would be shocked. Those same clippings you just put up, I just watched and sent them. That the church thing that you saw, the Monique, I had to send that to people. I'm talking about in 24 hours.
Right.
So that's why I'm sitting there laughing like, boy, they picking my brain.
But it's amazing how life works. It's amazing how life works. We already got a comment as well.
Right.
It's in the icon. He said, that was great. We appreciate you, big brother. Right. Big brother Eric, man, in the building. We appreciate you. But we still talking about the beginning, right?
Sure.
And so we know you started in Baltimore. We know you got to start in the military, that you have served the armed forces. But do you recall your first mic, the first time you touched the mic?
Boy, I know one thing. These open micers will love this right about now. I actually bombed out because I was working at BWI Airport. That's how it all got started.
Okay.
I was at the airport. He used to have a radio. I was a supervisor there for janitorial.
Right.
So I would walk around doing impressions. Hey, Fat Albert, Richard Pryor, and all the other 100 impressions I do.
That's another thing that we didn't know. Voice impersonation. Wow. So Sanford and Son make a lot of sense now.
Yeah, well, when you listen to Red Fox, you big dummy, when you hear that, you hear Fat Albert. Hey. You hear Mr. T, I pity the fool. So all those that resonate with the same type characters. And I do many. Mike Tyson, I'm Vinny Valentine, and I can't hear myself. I'm just trying to add.
No, you sound good. Go ahead, do that. Do that.
This is Bill Cosby. If you don't have no pills, I can give you a pill. You get a pill, you get a pill. But no, I learned to do impressions because I was raised with geniuses, man. My brother was a genius. He was a chemistry major. I mean, he went to Bowie State University. Now I wasn't a school guy. But I went to school because my mother didn't play. Mama didn't take no mess.
Right, absolutely.
You getting up out of here. And I wasn't that tough because I love school. I don't want you to get it twisted. I love school, but I was a clown. I wanted to be me. And
okay.
But
so if Class Clown had a picture, your name would be right next to it.
It'd be right beside a whole lot of these comedians. I guarantee you, a lot of comics out there was funny in school. So that really kicked it. I used to perform on the back of the bus going home. I'm talking about I would have the bus roaring because of my improv and just talking about somebody. Just being real with them and just quick. I'm very quick. You can join me, but I'll get you. That's how I roll. But,
okay, so you built your style off of improv. Was that by choice or was that random or did you just find out like that was your niche? Because we know you're one of the greats at improv.
Well, here's the thing. I built my style. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
From Bill Cosby and Richard Pryor.
Okay.
And these guys taught me. I didn't have no open mics back when I was coming out. My open mic was listening to a vinyl of Richard Pryor, that nigga's crazy, or listening to Bill Cosby and Flip Wilson and these guys. So I'm giving you a little history of the comedy. But I learned the improv from watching a white guy in New Jersey named Bob Levy. I'm giving Bob some love.
Bob Levy, shout out Bob Levy.
That's right. And Bob I've never seen nobody just improv and they just loved him. But I also learned by watching him, and he never looked angry up there. That was part of the job. Improv helps when them jokes ain't working.
Right.
You better think of something.
Right.
Okay, so just a little input. Yeah.
You've done a lot in this community. One of the things that's well documented, right? Hold on, we got another comment. Let's go ahead and read this comment. We got a comment. Send an icon. He said, "Can you imitate Eddie Murphy?"
I never did Eddie Murphy, but I can do Eddie Murphy. He's easy. See, I just took the lip side. I never did Eddie Murphy. That's how he talks, and I could pick him up. It took me a minute to even work on Barack Obama. See, I can barely hear myself. This is Barack Obama, but I can't hear myself. I can adjust if I hear myself.
Okay.
And that's how you do impressions.
Oh, so you hear yourself and then you play it back or something?
Man, you have to record.
And you adjust it from there?
I can adjust from there, but just because I hear a lot of more of like a baritone in my voice, in my ear.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is like, let's do Fat Albert. Hey, hey, hey. See, it's easy to do him because most of the impressions I do,
they come from like that type of
whatever
you want to call it. They come from that, man.
Yeah,
we got another comment real quick. Brother Bobby B, the Robert Blount Connection. He said, "Have you ever done movies?"
Listen, it's strange that we talked about that. I'm just learning since I did the Red Fox tribute that I love acting. I was telling somebody that today. I love acting better than I do stand-up now. Because I've done stand-up for so long. See, I was in a transition. My transition was mainstream.
Okay.
So it's a whole different world in mainstream. And then you got to go to black comedy with BET, Comic View, and all that.
Right.
So, but what I learned from the acting, because I would do characters back in the day.
Okay.
I did a wino character called Shake the Wino.
So you've always done impersonations?
Always did impressions.
That's one of the things that we missed. Shout out to that.
Yeah, I got y'all on that one.
You got us. You got us.
Got to read it very carefully. Gotcha. No, but Rick James. I'm surprised y'all didn't have that. You had everything else. If you'd have put Rick James on that, I'd have fell out. I could have did the Rick James movie. When I moved back to Baltimore, I was coming from Seattle, Washington. When I came back in, it was a competition.
Right.
Putting on the hits.
Right.
It was lip sync.
Right.
And I did my impression of Rick James. I won $1,000. They sent me to West Coast.
What?
Yeah.
$1,000 back then?
Back then, it's a lot of money.
Oh my goodness! Tell us about it.
Yeah, and I kind of enjoyed the journey because my creativity comes from watching the old school like Flip Wilson. And you look at Martin doing Geraldine with Flip Wilson doing, and Shanae with Martin and Gerald. These guys learned from the guys before them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So same way with here. Right. Now here's my logic. I never got caught up in Eddie Murphy. Liked Eddie Murphy because he did impressions.
Okay.
But Richard was my man.
Okay.
That was
more
my
Richard Pryor type of line.
The first person I met when I got up here, and when I first started, I don't do Richard no more. I could hit Richard so good you'd have thought he was in the room. You got to know Richard's material.
And see, that's why they call you the Godfather of
Right.
comedy. Now,
Right.
now we starting to understand because you're the one that we know for starting the impersonations and things and like.
And Baltimore, let's do the Baltimore.
Yeah, in Baltimore. Let's do that. Let's give you them flowers. And you've been doing it for well over 40 years. And this is the thing. You had a USO tour in Ocean City, right?
Yes.
I want you to talk about that because it was like 3 shows a night, 6 days a week, right?
Wow. Well, y'all did your homework. Yeah, that was Ocean City at the Princess Royale. I did 3 each night, and I was sharing with somebody. Each show, I got tired of doing my routine. That's how I learned how to improv. Because you get tired of saying the same jokes.
Okay.
Because jokes got to be proof. You just can't do it. You might hit, but you might miss.
Right.
So the improv, what I learned to do is to be a real comedian. Impressions, singing, improvisation. You got a whole act up there. You got an act that people are going to be entertained. My thing is I want to make you laugh any means necessary because every night is different. You can't put that's different.
I get what you're saying. I mean, like you are encompassing many talents in one talent. You know, because in order to sing, in order to act, and all that stuff to do comedy, that's several different talents in one. But my question is, where did you even get the energy to do 3 shows a night for 6 days a week? Like, where does that energy even come from?
Well, here's the thing. Back in the day,
how is that even possible?
Well, here's the thing. When you do the comedy clubs, just back in the day, Comedy Factory, for example, before they moved to Dundalk. What I'm saying is we had to do 5 shows.
Right.
So you look at 1 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and 2 on Saturday.
Right.
But the reason why they did 3 because Saturday night, Ocean City is a resort. People going to hang out early, late, and later. So they want to make money.
Right. So where did the energy come from, though?
Well, I'm tired at the end of the night, and then because I'll be laying in the bed, wired up, looking at the ceiling, because I'm high energy. You don't feel my energy. I'm not giving you I'm just trying to give you your energy. But it's just natural, because you remember when you loosen up and do comedy and you improv,
right?
It's going to be funny.
It just flow.
It's going to flow. You just go.
You were in a flow state at that point.
You cruise, and you got to remember, I did an hour each show. That's a long time.
3 times.
3 different times. Some audience,
in the same night.
Same night.
6 days a week.
Some of them audiences could have been 20 people. Then it could have been a packed house the next show.
Okay.
So, you got to understand, that's what makes me good.
So so I guess being in that sort of state, like you would know what rhymes to recycle and when because you know who was in the audience on what day?
I had, what was that guy's name? He played for Maryland, and also he was Houston back in the day. Oh, God, it just slipped my mind. I'm looking right at him as a senior moment. Don't get one of them. You're a young man. You don't want one of these senior moments. But I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him again. When he played ball, he could jump out the gym. He came to the show one night in Washington, D.C. I'll think of his name in a minute.
Kevin Durant?
Not Durant. He played with Maryland back in the day.
Okay.
You got to know Maryland's team. Oh, Lord, I got to know this. I can't say his name.
Oh, he deep in there.
Oh, he deep in there.
Okay.
He's passed in that area right after Bias, before Lynn Bias.
Right after Lynn Bias.
Yeah, right after.
Okay.
But, I got him on the tip of my tongue.
And send the icon if you know, because my brother, that's the sports show. If you still on here, let us know if you know who we talking about.
Yeah. 6'4", could jump out the gym. He was, he went to Houston. He played with Akeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
So if he could put that together, I just can't think. I don't want to miss a beat on what we talking about.
Don't give me the line. Don't give me the line.
You probably wasn't even born though.
No, I was born in the 90s.
You was in the 90s, so that makes it at that time.
I was born in the early 90s.
That makes it. Yeah, but no. Let's go back to the question you asked, because I slept on something.
No, I was just saying though, how did you channel the energy for doing 3 shows a night, 6 days a week?
Well,
where did that energy come from?
The energy come from. I was an athlete. Don't forget that I played ball.
Okay.
I played ball. I ran track. And I've always been in shape. I'm 68 years old. I'm in shape. But that's where the energy comes from. And I've always been high energy anyway. And the bottom line, I tell people, challenge your energy sometime.
Right.
And because I would go off on you back in school. You get me, piss me off, I'm up in your face. You know what I mean?
Man.
Hoping that you don't swing.
That's that South Baltimore spirit.
Did you want to say, hoping
That's that
swing.
South Baltimore spirit.
But the energy came from athletics.
We got some comments real quick. We got some comments. He said, a Oh, we already read that. Have you done movies? Let's go here. I sent an icon. He said, wow, 3 shows a night is epic. And it really is. We're going to shout that out. We about to give him his flowers today. Yeah. Make sure y'all show him his flowers today. If you listening, everybody on the sound of my voice, just type in Rickey the Real Deal Shackelford in the comments, man. Real talk. He said Sam Cassell.
Not Sam. What a smart. No, he missed. It's one guy. Oh, he's from D.C. and I can't think of the boy's name. Okay. God, it's on the tip of my brain right now. Yeah. And because he gave me hell, man. He was sitting in the audience heckling me.
Okay.
Oh, you ain't that funny, D.C. comedian. He got the Baltimore D.C. challenge.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, you don't know. I know every comic from D.C. Sit down. And he was with his boys, but all of them 6'5" and above. I'm with one little white boy. He couldn't even spell fight.
And you look great for 68, by the way. And it's amazing that you still moving and grooving, and driving at your age. And I know we just passed Father's Day too. But my father, he died at the age of 62. Wow. So shout out to my dad. He was a good man. Shout out to my father.
Shout out to my father too, man.
Yeah. Rest in power, Kings. So I want to say this. You gotta. We're gonna shift over just to like the production and the community of it, right? Wow. You got BWT Productions, right? And I think businesses working together.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Tell us about that and what's the purpose behind the name?
Well, here's the thing. My skills is business and management, first of all. One of the things I used to notice when I was at Gatsby's nightclub, 32nd Street, 5 Mile, the local clubs, that we don't know how to work together sometimes. And you got to remember, wasn't no internet when I was doing my thing. I was grinding on the ground, bus to bus, walking late at night.
Before Instagram, before Facebook.
All that stuff.
Before YouTube.
Let's go back to 8-track tape players. Do I need to go back into
before DVDs, before cassettes. Okay, I got you. So I'm picking down what you put.
But I had to learn how to show people living by example. Because let's go back when I said about the paper boy. See, that taught me as a salesperson that, hey, look, I got to deliver, but we got to deliver by working together. Just like the reason why I'm here today. You know why I'm here? So we can work together. Now, don't be bigger than the situation sometimes. The black community, we a lot of our leaders, they're not leading back into the community. They take from the community, but they don't put back in the community.
Wow.
So that's why I came up with BWT, especially with the businesses and so many. I just got off the phone with my accountant today, and we were talking about the same thing, to show you how the spirit works sometimes. And we were just talking about, why you continue to help Baltimore. Well, you got to be raised in Baltimore. Baltimore taught me how to grind. Because if you can listen, are you ready for this? I made it in Baltimore. Who else can say they made it in Baltimore?
What?
Come on now.
Yeah.
I made it in Baltimore. Don't forget what
Some
you
people
got.
Don't even make it out of their 20s.
Listen, Baltimore can make you or break you. Baltimore made me because I learned that South Side boy, they always thought I was a little country boy, right? But coming from East Side to the West Side to North Park Heights, whatever, all these people had that fast gift to gab. I learned from them. Just watching people. I can learn from you. I learned from all the people that came my way.
Yes, sir.
And that's one of the reasons when I used to walk around and see the businesses not functioning. We'd go to the Chinese place and get the fried rice, but the corner store is starving.
Right.
We got to put back. Somebody got to keep this thing open.
I love that too. I love that too. And this BMore4Real, right? We talk about the real. I think a lot of what's missing as well. And we talk about this on this platform that, when we have businesses, we have such a bad stigma with black businesses and where we drive other customers away when we should support each other instead. So businesses working together is actually what we should do.
Most definitely.
Within each other. And that's very, very important. I think that's how we grow as a community, social and economically, as a unit in America, as a people, because we always talking about rights and everything else like that. When it comes to making rights, and I'm gonna say this too, if y'all listening, because look, let's be more for real. It's rated R for reality. If y'all listening, the way that they make laws is they lobby on behalf of laws. They pay these lobbyists and stuff like that. So they in business. They in business. They in cahoots. And we got a comment as well. He said, was it John Lucas?
No, he
the
missed
second or Walt Williams?
I knew both of them.
What was he talking about?
No,
okay.
And I'm so mad I can't even think of his name, and I'm looking right.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You know who you're talking about.
I know, but I'm mad
and you
because
work with a lot of people.
It's on my brain to say his name because I'm a baller. You don't forget. I met Sam Cassell when he was about ready to go to Florida State.
Okay.
He was just hanging out.
So before he even made it big.
Before he made it big, but Muggsy Bogues. I played with Muggsy back.
Okay.
And I'm 10 years older, but that boy was so good. He stole that ball from me. I said, well, maybe I need to get into comedy.
Right. Okay.
That's how good he was. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. I love the Baltimore athletes, and I'm a basketball fanatic. Even the sports that's on now. You look at Ernie Graham.
That's my guy.
Ernie Graham.
When I went to school, Ernie Graham had the Get the Message program.
I knew Ernie. I knew his brother.
He played at Maryland, right?
He played with Maryland, but he came out of Dunbar.
You take it back to high school.
But that Dunbar joint, all of them they was doing their thing from David Wingate to Sam.
Was he a part of that undefeated team?
They were
historic. Ernie Graham was a part of that.
Ernie
Man,
Graham.
shout out Ernie Graham, man. Shout out Ernie Graham. I'm glad you brought him up.
Sure.
Because in my elementary school, I went to Emerson Heights, by the way.
Okay.
He had, and I was in 5th grade. For the 5th graders there, he had a Get the Message program. Just a little brief thing about Ernie Graham, man. And he was telling us how his sister died on her birthday.
Wow.
And she used to use drugs and all that stuff. And he was telling us about Len Bias, how he died after he got drafted and all that stuff, and trying to get us away from drugs. He had a basketball program, but he never really focused on the basketball portion. It was always the life skills.
Most definitely.
Because he came from Dunbar, he came from the trenches, and he's like, look, it's stuff that's bigger than basketball. If you don't get yourself right, you're not gonna be right for whatever you're trying to prepare yourself for. And shout out to Ernie Graham on that. You bringing it back?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny. I can go way back with the top athletes in Baltimore, even big time. And anybody know Dunbar? Skip Wise. Skip was a modern day George Gervin. That's how he could fly. Or you want to look David Thompson or Michael Jordan. Skip could fly too. He was that big, tall forward that you better watch him because everybody can't do what he was doing. You slamming on big men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you teaching me history. Talk that game. Talk that game.
But that was and you wouldn't believe this, Danny. I would go to all the school games from Dunbar, Lake Clifton, Southern, which I came out of Southern High school in '75. But because I couldn't play because I had to work. Mom, like, you know what, you need shoes and socks.
So you had to work at what age?
I had to work. I've been working since I was 12, 13. I was a newspaper, Sun paper boy. And that job taught me discipline.
Okay.
That job and my mother taught me discipline.
In today's age, I think it's a little illegal to work before you're 14. So yeah, you had to come before all that.
Well, my brother had the paper route and he passed it to me.
Okay.
And my mother had to co-sign it. And, all that was important, but it taught me discipline. It taught me being responsible, and that's what I want from the young people, is to be responsible,
Absolutely. And speaking about the newspaper, right? And you have been in the newspaper, you have made national news several times. But in this latest one, and we're going to pull up this flyer after this while we're talking about this, you have embodied the character of Sanford and Son and making that stage play. What is it like stepping into a comedy legend like Red Fox's shoes and, impersonating him?
Well, I'm going to say this here. I'm proud of doing Red Fox because my grandparents, aunt and them, used to have stacks of Red Fox albums. So they gave some of them to me as I got older. And to learn the history. I'm glad you brought that up. Learn the history of comedy. It goes way back. You heard me joke with Monique about Steppin' Fletcher. See what Monique was saying. I appreciate her because she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, shout out Monique too. Let's shout out Monique real quick. Shout out Monique.
And I want to get this in before I get killed. Give it up to my partner, Mr. Howard G. too.
Give it up for Howard G. He was on here as well too.
Howard done it.
Howard G was on here.
Yeah, but just the history of learning those guys, and I don't want to just limit myself, because you asked me about the military. I was into Rodney Dangerfield. I tell you, I never get no respect. I was into all those guys, but that was my era. It wasn't no whole lot of black comedians like BET then. Bill Cosby, he was the man at that time.
Now that you mentioned Bill Cosby,
sure.
And I know that people have their own opinions of Bill Cosby, but it was brought to my attention too. I didn't realize the gravity of Bill Cosby. He was the one who made wholesome videos and stuff like that
Sure.
for us to see as black families and all that stuff. He a lot of his work is attributed to us going to college and all that stuff. It wasn't until he started making films of us going to college and all that stuff. There was a major shift in black people going and enrolling in college and finishing schools.
Right,
so he was always about family and a better position. So I don't know. I'm not going to talk about all his legal allegations, but Bill Cosby was such an instrumental piece, and for you to have that inspiration, Bill Cosby and Richard Pryor, like these are some of the greats. I don't even think a lot of my generation too, because I'm 30, I'm about to be 31.
Right.
I don't think a lot of my generation even know that Bill Cosby even did stand up.
Yeah.
We would know him for something totally different today.
Well, and like we were talking about the improv earlier, I wouldn't have learned to do stand up if I didn't watch Bill Cosby. See, Bill Cosby did the storytelling. We were talking about Old Weird Harold and Fat Albert and Rudy and on. Growing up with a football, and street football, he would do, and anybody know the era know what I'm saying. But like I said, we did not have an open mic.
Right.
Our open mic was that vinyl album I'm listening to. And then as I got older, got older, I started cussing and listening to Richard Pryor and Red Fox. These guys came into play, but they taught me timing, delivery, and timing. Look, I'm a young man, wasn't getting no booty in the house. I might well listen to a cuss album, So I try to keep it clean because I am a Christian too. Don't let the jokes fool me.
Okay.
I'm a Christian.
That makes sense.
I love the Lord, bro. He's been so good. I'm getting blessed, and I know where they're coming from. Want to share that with people. But
absolutely,
I've learned so much from the history. I feel like I walk with those guys. I had a lot of heroes. See, that's what I want you to be clear. My heroes was Muhammad Ali. I'm so pretty. I whipped Joe Frazier. I could do Ali back in the day to a T. But these was my leaders. Dr. King was my leaders. I looked up to these guys. Dr. King passed the same week. 3 people that I knew from Dr. King, the boy next door, my neighbor, and my uncle died the same week. Some things you just don't forget.
Wow.
But that always stuck in my mind, but I've always listened to his dream. And look, people are going to have their opinion.
What year was that, 1968?
68, 66, 68. In that area,
and I only say that because you're 68 now, so like numbers mean something to me. No, it do though.
I'm listening.
I just be stuff pinging off in my head. I be like, that means something to me. 68, 6 the number, man, 8 the number, new beginnings, stuff like that. It always speaks out to me. But as I digress, man.
But I want to say this here because I also want to throw this into. I got my own podcast. So I want people to understand.
Shout it out.
That's what BWT is about. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
I'm at the Coyote Man Show Network. I do it twice a month. Been there for 2 years.
Tell us again. You said the Coyote Man.
The Coyote Man TV is the name of it, and you can see me on there twice a month. Go to my Facebook page. You'll know when I'm going to be there because we promote it just as well. And I want to give them guys a shout because these guys was in the Sanford and Son play. That's one of the things I want to say, man. I got to give it out to the people that's in that play from Howard G, the Coyote Man, Owen Funderburk III. He's performing this Saturday at Cafe 12 with BWT Productions. So, but all the cast, the Esthers, we had 3 different Esthers. Want to give some love to Miss Maybell, who passed away. Got to give Maybell some love. She did the first Esther. And we built a relationship because of that. That's the point of me bringing Sanford and Son back, so we can learn to work together. That was a BWT move, and it worked. And look, we just got picked up to do Labor Day weekend in South Carolina, August 31st.
Okay, so let's go ahead and pull that flyer up.
Sure, we're gonna be there Labor Day weekend.
I'm glad we even went going there. So let's go to that one. We're going to pull that up. And you say you're in Myrtle Beach, right? Is this one?
That's Myrtle Beach.
This the Myrtle Beach? Let's pull that up. Look, there you go.
Yeah,
it's right there on the screen. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we got an early bird special. You get your tickets from now until August. You can get them for $29. You can go to Eventbrite and pull up Sanford and Sons, Sanford.com and Eventbrite. Just want to say it right. You can get those tickets online. I'm telling you, we just did the play. Just did it August the 4th. We just did the play, and we got people that want to come down to Myrtle Beach to see us perform. Do you know the biggest form of flattery is that people coming from you're talking about an 8-hour drive.
So we must have left a good impact on them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we left a good impact on them. But that weekend is going to be nice. I want to give a shout out to my daughter, Tranisha William Shackelford. She don't want to be a Shackelford, but you still got my blood going through your veins.
Right.
But I love you, girl. My only child. I want to give her some love, too. I'm coming to South Carolina because in case you pulled us up and see what Daddy's doing. Daddy coming back to you. I love my kid, but...
Shout out to the Godfather daughter, man.
Hey,
shout out.
That's the key, man. Is never forget where you come from and the work you still got to do.
Never forget your roots.
I'm never going to forget them, man.
Never forget your roots. Speaking about the roots,
Sure.
right? We can go right into your local impact and legacy. The Baltimore scene. How unique is it from, because you are a national treasure as well, too. I know we know you locally, but people don't know that you know nationally.
Sure.
From your shows in Vegas, working with Monique and multiple national artists. But as far as Baltimore and the Baltimore scene, how unique is it compared to other scenes and other cultures and other aspects?
Well, I want to say this about Baltimore, because from generation to generation, things change. You know, now we into 25 now. This generation here is, to me, they think they're entitled. When you get into the real world, I said it earlier, you got to earn it. You're not entitled. Baltimore, and we done spoiled a lot of comedians.
Okay.
I'm thankful for them being funny here, but I haven't seen you progress. I haven't seen you work Vegas. I haven't seen you do a lot of concerts like I've done, you know? And I say that because they got a lot more to do. You're local. You don't want to stay local.
Correct.
You're not going to make it staying local.
Correct.
I done been to every state and state, from Colorado. I'd have been to Iowa, Oregon, Washington State. Hey, man, I done been to Texas. On and on. I'm talking about from Cleveland to Pittsburgh to Miami. I done hit practically the whole United States doing my comedy.
You've also went international, right?
Oh, I went did the USO tour for the troops.
Yeah.
30 days. It was so hot over there. I feel like I am right now in this room.
For real? Yeah, it is a little hot. It is a little hot. But
I'm sweating like P. Diddy in court.
Overseas. Gee.
I know. That's a keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
but
a bar.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm talking fast so I can stay with you. No, that USO tour was almost just like putting back in Baltimore. I'm a military guy. I know how I feel to be in that service when you're away from home and you don't have nobody writing you and all that. So it was a privilege. It was an honor for them to say, hey, me and Howard G, don't want to forget, Howard G went with us. Joe Recker, may rest his peace, and Lonnie Davis, the Four Horsemen. We went to Saudi Arabia and performed for the troops. And let me tell you, it was 120 on that stage. 15 minutes in, you soaking wet.
It was like you're in a desert.
In a desert. But it didn't bother us because we was doing something. One of the things I always try to do, Danny, I want to always feel like I'm putting back. Whether it's the inner city or where I've grown up from, or just giving a message. Because even before Barack Obama won, I wanted to change the world. That was a DVD that I wrote called "I'm Gonna Change the World," and I'm about ready to knock something over.
No, you are good. That's the trophy, but you good.
It's a trophy though.
That's the trophy. You good. It's good. It's good there.
Got a king on it. I'm the king,
there. Yeah.
but I'm the king.
It's good. Number one podcast in Baltimore, by the way. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. It's your first time. Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Realest conversation on that. Sorry about that.
No, I'm loving it, man.
But you said you was overseas, man, and in 120-degree weather and all that stuff. But it was still an honor and a pleasure for you to serve the nation.
Let me say this, Danny. My journey has been a vacation. Does that make sense?
Wow, it does.
Because it's a vacation when you got
I understand
passion,
what you're saying.
You got passion and you're doing what you really want to do. How many people are doing what they really want to do?
Right.
And I just retired at 62. But I haven't stopped doing comedy and producing. That's what I enjoy. So the wear hats of acting and stand-up and producing, I want to say this because I want to throw a nugget at the young people. Use all your talent. You might hit being a chef. I'm also a chef.
You just told me that. I just noticed that.
I can cook. And I say that because it took all that talent to get me where I'm at today. It took all that talent. Now I'm into trying to produce bigger shows. I just got my LLC, as we talked earlier.
We're going to go ahead and clap that up. We can't breeze past that. Hold on, let me turn this up. Let's do this again. We're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to turn that up, man. Real talk, real talk.
That's real talk.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of years for me to make that decision, but I got all the sources I need now. The source is what I'm talking about. And I want to turn that production into some bigger stuff in Baltimore. But I know also I'm going out of town. You got to go out of town, then come back in town. But what I think I won't do is I won't forget Baltimore City.
Right.
You know, the bottom line is when I almost said the boy's name. It ain't Sam Cassell.
You almost said Sam Cassell?
I know his name. But
it took me a time. I wish you remember.
Nice.
Look, it's no malice, no harm, no malice. Charge it to his head, not his heart. You heard me.
I know, but I'm so mad. I'm looking right at him. His name keep popping up and leave.
Just can't figure it out right now.
No, I'm gonna get it probably when we leave this podcast. You know.
So no soon as we end it, you gonna be like, oh, that's his name.
I know, but you gonna God.
Yep.
He played with Orlando and he played with the Houston Rockets, and he could jump. He could jump. Oh God, that boy can fly 6'4". But I'm just thankful for the journey, man. I enjoy what I do. I just think that my work ain't finished yet because I want to see how I feel at the top. You know, I'm not going to settle because if you don't continue to build goals for yourself, you know, then there's no more challenge.
So you're talking about your journey, you're talking about your legacy, right?
Sure.
And so why are we sticking with your journey and your legacy? Hold on, we got a comment. Let me go ahead and check this. Let me go ahead and check the comment. Send the icon. Big Brother said, was it John Lucas or Walt Williams?
No, he said that earlier, same person.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No, I'm looking at the guy.
He said, did you ever have a cooking show? Brother Bobby B, he said, did you ever have a cooking show?
Wow, it's in the making.
It's in the making?
Yeah, it's in the making. And I would love to do it because I like to eat, and I'm from a family from down south. We love to eat. You know?
Right.
But you know, you get older. You know,
Absolutely.
They eat the collard greens and all that stuff, and the I'm gonna kill you food. That's the kind of food they eat.
Absolutely.
But if we change the way we eat, you know,
absolutely.
You know.
But before we get too far, though, you was just talking about your legacy, right?
Right.
I want to stay on this too as well,
sure,
right? So for your legacy, right? Because we don't know what life brings to us. As far as your legacy is concerned, and as far as your name is concerned, when they hear Rickey the Real Deal Shackelford, what would you want people to know and understand the most about you and your character?
That I don't quit. It's so simple. You got to ride it out. Don't quit, because sometimes a talent takes time to develop, but also you're not going to get it until he give it to you. You might think you got it, but he can snatch it from you.
Absolutely.
You understand? So, but don't quit, man. I ride hard on that because, you know, I've had mentors I had to look up to, and I want to be that mentor. I'm not saying I'm perfect. That ain't what I'm talking about. We all had a past, and I don't judge nobody. That's what I like about comedy. I don't take you too serious. You know, you can say some crazy stuff to me, wouldn't bother me. I keep it moving.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So life is that way to also people to have a sense of humor in life. And that sense of humor take you a long ways. You know, if you're all stuck up on yourself, you're going to be stupid, because that's dumb to me. You know, learn by listening. You're listening to others. That's how you survive. You're not going to learn everything in them books in that classroom, but you can learn on these streets just as well, and learn what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Simple as that, you know. I'm kind of enjoying this.
See, I bet you I thought people was going to come up here and just be funny and be another comedy set. Yeah. But see, look, this is BMore4Real. We get to the real. We get like if you never had a story or compilation, we are so glad to uplift your name. So you one of the legends. They call you the Godfather for a reason. You came in here and you asked me, you said, do you even know who I am? I said, yeah. Even though, and I understand though, it's not like, it was never offensive to me.
Right.
I understand you've been doing this for 40 plus decades. That's longer than I've been living.
Right.
So I'm 4+ decades. So that's longer than I've been living. So I wanted to make sure that you know that we know who you are, and we give you your flowers. A lot of people know who you are, for real, and it's a real big deal that you here right now. Like, for real, we're gonna turn it out. It's a real big deal that you here right now. Seriously, like, we appreciate you, and we just want to give you your flowers and let you know that you appreciate it. We see the work that you have been doing for decades, actually. Right. We see the work that you've been doing, and we're happy to be just interviewing you, have you in our presence. You know, we haven't been a part of it, but we'd love to be a part of your future success.
Well, I want to say this here because success is only built around the people you're around. You know, you have to have the right people around. But one of the things that I did well is I planted that seed. And see, the seed is growing. I already know the ones out there, your Larry Lancasters, I know your Ray Devias, and those Stilettos. These comics came right up out of that seed that we planted because we kept them on stage.
You know, we opened up a black door that wasn't even open. Let's give it to BET for what they've done. Somebody also had to plant them seeds in them cities. You know?
Absolutely.
You got to plant them seeds. You got a whole lot of people.
We got a comment. Center icon said, "Greatness is in the building." He said, "Greatness is in the building." Y'all know what time it is, man. Greatness is in the building. Like right before our own eyes, like one of the greatest of our generation, and he's not just locally known. Don't get it confused. He's nationally known, and that's another thing that people don't realize how humble you are. And I want people to realize that too, because even though you can have a national name, we just seen you with Monique and various artists and stuff like that, right? But you don't make the deal bigger than yourself. It's always like you always bring yourself down or something and humble yourself. Like that's why we gonna uplift you right here.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta do it. We gonna do it for you. Rickey the Real Deal Shackelford, the godfather of comedy music, is in the building, and we are so excited.
Thank you.
Real talk. We are so excited. Real talk. And it's a blessing.
But I like where we went with this whole thing. People think when they see comedians, oh, he gonna go up here and try to be funny and outshine the host. I got too much wisdom for that. What I want to do is share the nuggets on how I got here. I didn't get here just by waking up. I did the work. So I want the young people to know, do the work, you're going to see the success.
Yes,
You'll
sir.
see your vision open right up, but put God first. You got to keep him in your life. And I'm not a preacher. I've been through it to know. I know where I've been, and I know where I'm going, but I know who got me there. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have got there if I didn't pray on it, and I didn't trust in him. See, you got to trust somebody, because this is a dangerous business out here. Business itself, dealing with the Trump man, we got a lot on our plate.
Yeah, we do.
We got a lot.
We do.
That's why I say here's another nugget. Stay focused on yourself.
We do.
You ain't got to be in everybody's business. Focus on where you're trying to go. You do the work behind it, you'll get the success. That's the way it works, man. Do work.
God knows BMore4Real, man. Realest conversation on the internet, man. I promise you, man. We're going to do a wrap around because I know you got to get out of here. And I'm telling you, the time just flew. It's like,
it did fly.
It's not even like we having like a real okay, but look.
If you want to go to 8:30, we can stretch it.
Look, we gonna do this and we gonna get out of here, right?
All right, we can do that.
I just want to do like a rapid fire round where I ask you a series of questions. You answer as quick as you can.
Most definitely.
And as honestly as you can. And we just gonna learn just a little bit more about you, right? So, what is your favorite venue?
My favorite venue?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Live Casino.
Live Casino. Hey, shout out Live. You talking about Merlin Live?
Merlin Live.
Sponsor the channel, Merlin Live. Y'all got the legend in here. Make sure y'all sponsor the channel. Make sure y'all sponsor his channel, Merlin Live. We'll put that content out here for you.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to take my play there.
Okay.
Whoa. I'm not playing.
Okay. Tap in with us, Merlin Live, Merlin Live. If y'all see this, make sure y'all tag Merlin Live in the video. Like, one time for the one time, man. Do it for the legend. You heard me. If not for BMore4Real, do it for the legend. We got another comment real quick, and he just said, great question. I appreciate you, big brother Eric in the building. So another one. What is, I don't know, and if you can't say it, don't say it, but what is your best original joke?
Wow. My original one is, God, wow, you done really stirred up the pot. It's taking care of your children, child support, You got to take care of your children. If you don't, there's nothing the worst feeling in the world is have your child forget you, and I don't want to say the joke, but I'm just trying to make a point. I can't tell you all my business.
Yeah, we in here. We got the comedy legend in the building. Okay.
Take care of your children.
What is the worst? What's the worst moment that you had on stage that you can look back at and laugh at it now?
You're gonna be shocked what I'm about ready to say. There have not been one worse moment. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it goes with the job, and I always looked at it that way.
Okay.
When you're gonna crack on the crowd, you better take what comes with it. Sometimes. Just like bombing out. You have a good night, you have a bad night. Just go with it. Because I enjoyed the ride.
So there's never been a time that you looked at it and said that I was really embarrassed about this moment, and then
when I first started.
What's that time that was most embarrassing? You look back on it now and it's laughable.
I was laughable when I bombed out and I had a whole job come. It's 50 people come to see me perform, and I'm drunk as a skunk.
Oh my God!
I'm drunk as a skunk because I them nerves, kid. That's the first time I ever picked the microphone up.
Okay, so now we're going back to your first. Is this the first time?
First time.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was at the Brothers too. the Brothers 2 nightclub on Liberty Road, and I invited the whole airport. And they was pumped. It was packed in there with my fans and their fans, and the nerves are kicking in. I'm only, and here's the thing: during that time, I was doing Richard Pryor's material, you know, and I'm like, I can't miss this, but you can't do Richard drunk,
right? Oh my goodness!
I was drunk. Yeah.
You fumbled that one.
Oh, here's the sad part. Here's the sad part. You gotta hear it. You gotta hear it. You gotta hear it the next day, you know. Okay. And look, I was ducking everybody, you know what I mean? Because I take things personal, man. Okay. The comedy is my pride, bro. Now here's the thing: I don't drink or do nothing when I perform. It's all natural. You know what I mean? Because that's being a professional. You know that them drinking, you be funny for a second, but you can also bomb by drinking. You can bomb by smoking them tweeds. You can bomb. I said the same joke twice one night. I'm like, no.
Oh my goodness, not the same one twice. That's like a DJ playing the same song.
Now that was one of the funniest moments too. You asked me about jokes, saying that same joke twice. I'm like, did I just say that?
Shout that out, man. That's a BMore4Real moment. Y'all know what we do. BMore4Real, realest conversation on the internet. I promise you, this is the realest conversation you have ever heard. It's rated R for reality. Yeah. It's brought to you by way of Real Explosion. It's the #1 podcast in Baltimore. We won it in 2024. Wow. We only in 2025. Our first year running. We got the #1 podcast in Baltimore. Hit that subscribe button if this is your first time. For sure. Dude, let's clap it up for BMore4Real. Yeah. Hit that subscribe button, man. Let's continue on with this rap around. What or who kills you right now? Like what gets under your skin right now about the game? And you touched on it a little bit as well.
Well, you know what kind of gets me is this here. What's really, especially this game, how I see on the Shannon Sharp show, how comedians were going at each other, and you can't do the work I do helping comedians and have each other shoot each other down. If you want to do anything, help that person. Don't put them down, because until you do stand up, you can't tell me nothing. You know, but you can help me. That's all I'm saying. And I've seen it going on. They starting to go at each other. And I don't want to have no part of it. That's just that's so beneath the belt, as we say. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I feel you on that.
Because everybody can't do no comedy. I tell you that now.
I absolutely feel you on that. And I want people to know this too. I haven't said much about it because, you know, this is your show for right now. I don't want to take your shine, but I want to just show the appreciation and love I have for comedy. Right. It doesn't matter what it is or what's being said. And comedy, it feels like the only way that free speech is protected right now. Sure. Because if you go to try to say what you want to say outside of the comedy lane, there's a whole lot more backlash and riffraff, even though there's backlash and riffraff.
But I want to chop in there because this is for real. It's changing because people are very sensitive now. So certain subjects, just like we couldn't talk about gays, and they can't do that.
But that's the best we get to free. That's the closest we get to free speech nowadays.
That's the closest.
Yeah, because white people can say whatever they want and joke about black people. But black people can joke, but and for the most part.
But I want to say this to you, Dan. I think it takes away when you can't let a comic go. Right. I love talking about minorities or whites and blacks and stuff. Right. I love talking about that because it loosens them up. Right. It makes them know that y'all are valid. But it's just a joke. These I always said in my stand-up, these are just jokes. Because I'm on a comic write what he thinks is funny. So, you know, so it's a lesson to be learned though with this
absolutely.
business,
Absolutely, you know. Absolutely. Which Baltimore comedy legend do you admire the most?
I admire Howard G. I'm going to tell you why. Howard and I have been together 30 years. That's what BWT is about.
Shout out Howard G, man.
Got to give Howard some love. 30 years. You know, we fight like brothers. At the end of the day, we get the job done. You know, and he know how much I love him.
That's like brothers.
We brothers.
You fight all the time, but you know when they come together.
Right, but I call him my son because I'm 10 years bigger than him. So,
but I was like, big brother.
I'm big brother to him, but I'm big brother and unk to a whole lot of these young ones too.
And to us, you the godfather.
Cleon the comedian.
Shout out Cleon, man.
Well, you know, I had Cleon too. And
you trained a lot of comedians. I don't think people know that as well about you either. You mentored a lot of comedians.
But look at the guys I'm saying: Larry Lancaster, Cleon, Howard G.
Monique.
Monique. Monique told you herself.
Yep.
You know, you got to listen. If you don't listen, you ain't gonna receive it. But these guys are doing well. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of Cleon. We tap each other all the time. I give him a like sign. I like it. Keep doing your thing because he got a chance to see what the road is about.
Absolutely.
See, that's what I'm telling this comedy. You cannot stay home and make it.
Absolutely.
See, I've already made it. I got a resume. You understand? You ain't
40
got
years.
no resume. Come on. And now, look, I came back in to claim to fame my own production company. That's why LLC, Rickey Shackelford Enterprise, because now I can do the things I want to do.
And this is going to go right into the closing. We're going to wrap this up too as well. Just tell people where they can follow you and how they can support you, what businesses you have going on.
Yes, it's a lot going on. This Labor Day weekend, I'm going to be at Asher Theater. This is in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. We're doing 3 shows there, 2 on Sunday, the 31st of August, and also September the 1st on a Monday. Then we coming home. Also, this coming Saturday, we're going to be at Cafe 12. This is Owen Funderburk III. He's headlining, but we got a lot of 10 new comedians that we're bringing up. I like to see them guys work and earn the nuggets. Coming up, I want to make sure I got that right too. I got things that I just don't have a flyer on it yet. But we have something on the 26th. I do birthday parties. I don't limit where I go.
Okay.
Everything ain't all about the Vegas, and it's also about putting back for me.
Absolutely.
You know, because my production is going to be bigger than all this.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But you got to also train. You got to continue to train. You got to extend the. This is a workout for me right here. I'm really just starting getting loose. Because you can run a show.
Yeah.
You dead. You can run a show.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Shout out that. BMore4Real.
Yeah, you been
BMore4Real. We the #1 podcast for a reason, man. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Tell people how to follow you, though.
Yeah, you also can reach me on Facebook, Rickey Shackelford. Rickey, R-I-C-K-E-Y, Shackelford. You can follow me. You see, I got 3 different Facebook pages. Also, Instagram, Rickey the Real Deal. You can hit me from there. And look, you can even call me because I'm like that. I'm so open and transparent. 443-226-9157 because I'm always looking for new talent. You know, I want new talent to know, look, you got a place to go. Because a lot of times, young people with the talent, they don't know how they're going to make it. I look at all these shows like America Got Talent, Idol, and all that, and I looked at it lately. 3 people came from Baltimore. One last night came from Baltimore.
That young lady that made it so far.
The lady,
Gabby. Is it Gabby?
Just call her Gabby.
Gabby. That's her name, Gabby. Shout out Gabby.
Gabby doing that.
Baltimore getting love on this one.
Getting some love.
Oh, all right. The Baltimore legend getting some love on this one.
And that's
Make sure y'all share this, man. Be more for real. Like, it's a double entendre. It's not just about Baltimore. It's about being more for real about your surroundings, but Baltimore getting some big love. It's a Baltimore love thing right now today.
Like that.
And we got the Baltimore legend, the Godfather himself, the Godfather of comedy, Rickey Shackelford here, man. We appreciate you for being here.
Steve was his name.
Steve. Do you remember this? Shout out Steve.
No, what?
Steve.
Steve.
Oh, God, it took you all podcasts to remember that. Shout out Steve, man.
What is Steve?
Sorry about that, Steve. We got it. He got it.
If anybody saw heard the message about the basketball player from Merle, Steve Francis.
Steve Francis.
You don't remember Steve Francis?
I remember Steve Francis.
Come on, man.
I remember Steve Francis. He's legendary. He's another legend. Shout out Steve Francis. Shout out Steve Francis.
Steve Francis. I knew I was going to get it, bro, but I did my part. I showed up on time. That was half the battle.
Absolutely, and we appreciate you for being here, and we just want to give you your flowers while you can smell them, man. It's important that people know how much work you put in the community. Right. I mean, you've trained a lot of comedy greats, right? Like Monique, and up until you talking about Cleon and stuff like that. People don't know, and see that's why I said you're so humble that you don't even give yourself the recognition and shine that you deserve, and that's why we wanted to give you those flowers right here on BMore4Real. That's what we wanted to do. I bet y'all thought he was gonna come up here and do a stand-up set or a skit. I bet y'all thought that. But look, if you want to tap in and know a little more about Rickey the Real Deal Shackelford, you gotta tap in with him. Shackelford. I'm sorry. You gotta tap in with him, man. He's more than just a comedian. He's more than just a veteran. He's more than just all that, man. He's a real person with a real heart, and he does real stuff for the community. Steve was jumping out the gym. There you go.
I'll never forget Steve. That was my man.
Man, we appreciate it, man. We done ran a little bit over time. It's not a big deal, man.
No, it was good.
You know, we in the studio. It's BMore4Real. Brought to you by Real Explosions. Realest conversation on the net. Rated R for reality. Is there any last closing words? Who do you give all your shout outs? Who you want to give the thanks to and all that stuff?
I want to give a shout out to the Sanford and Son tribute play because those guys did a great job. Just remember, listen, we got bigger fish to fry. I'm excited about our journey. We're going.
Matter of fact, speaking to the camera right there. My bad.
The camera.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's the camera. Looking at me like I owe them some money. But listen, you sure they ain't a robot?
Look, it's technology.
I see, man. Y'all got it up here. At least I know I can steal something. Ain't got this kind of thing. No, but I wanted to give a shout out for this journey we're about ready to go on with Sanford and Son because we've been picked up, people. You don't know how big 7 years of hard work has paid off. That's why you don't quit. You keep working hard because when he give it to you, you got to be ready for it. And you ask me, look at me being in shape because I stay in the gym. I want you to take care. Health is your wealth. You got to have that good health if you want that good wealth. So how good is it if you're sick? Sick man's mad, you know. But I just want people to know I'm representing Baltimore. No, I thank Baltimore people without that people supporting you, we couldn't be who we are just as well. And y'all keep supporting BMore4Real. A lot of energy with my man Danny, and I have to give the love because he did a great interview. They set me up. They got me over here sweating.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little hot in here, man.
I feel like P. Diddy with some.
We'll get it together with the funds, with the subscriptions, man. We'll be able to do it for free. We're not asking out for donations or cash apps just yet or whatever. Maybe we will start asking for donations and cash apps so we can keep this stuff rolling. Like the lights and all this stuff. This stuff don't run for free. Like people just don't know all that. Look, support us, man. Support us. And the best way and the most efficient way is just by hitting that subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything but just a click. All you got to do is move your finger. That's it. But yeah, BMore4Real. The real deal Rickey Shackelford was in the building. The Godfather himself. BMore4Real. Brought to you by Real Explosion. Keep it locked with us every single Wednesday. Rated R for reality. BMore4Real. We out of here. Y'all know what's up.